everyone doing? Okay, good. So story time. I'm Middle Eastern as ever, right? But I grew up on an American compound in the middle of Saudi Arabia. It's called Aramco. Best way I could describe it is if you copy and pasted the suburbs of Arizona right into Saudi, right? Like look and temp-wise the same. People in Arizona could do whatever they wanted. We couldn't do shit. So interesting childhood. But it was a literal melting pot. It was a lot of influences, a lot of cultures. So I feel like I have a slight identity crisis, which, funny enough, my now husband Charles is here tonight. He thought I was a New Jersey Italian woman when we first met. Met with my big hoops and my resting bitch face, right? Yeah, what? But funny enough, something that was actually huge growing up in Saudi was the Fast and Furious franchise. Yeah. So yeah, Saudis and Audis, that like that unlocked a core memory for a lot of people. So early on, I was introduced to Dominic Toretto at a very young age, Vin Diesel, and I was like, oh shit, I have a type. So I moved all the way from Saudi to the East Coast of the United States. This is a very calculated decision, right? And I found myself a Vin, only his name's Charles, and he wants to name his future son Dom, right? That works. Charles, he's tough, New Jersey Italian, go figure, right? Co-owns an MMA gym in Arlington, shout out. Wakes up every day, chooses violence with his Tarzan-like features, right? He can scare the shit out of you, but also rock a perfect pair of chinos. And he drives a loud, fast Mustang, so check, right? But imagine this guy meeting my dad, who objectively speaking is a very scary man, right? He's straight Palestinian, no room for identity crisis there. He was an ER doctor for 40 years. This man has no room for weakness. Like growing up, we weren't allowed to be sick unless we were bleeding to death. The school would call, like, Dr. Ibrahim, Grace has a 103 fever. He's like, if her limbs are still intact, don't bother me with that shit again. Right? Kids today don't know that nobody came for us. But he also has that like Arab dad walk. He walks with his hands behind his back like you've always done something wrong, straight out of the womb. But then he drops his like British like English he learned growing up. So it's a little confusing because he like intimidates you, but then he's like, instead of how are you, he's like, how do you do? And instead of like, oh, how is that? He's like, how do you find it? So I'm like, all right, naturally though, 5 months into dating, right, these two men in my life meet, because Charles is like, I want to come to Jordan, I want to meet your family. And I was like, oh shit, coming to the Middle East after 5 months, that's fast and furious. Let's do it, I love it, right? I'm already in Jordan at the time though, at this point. Mind you, we had a podcast at the time, so I was like, hey, pack the microphone, I'd like to record an episode while we're there. I feel like the viewers would like that, He's like, roger that. He proceeds to pack the microphone on top of a black duffel bag. I was like, okay, strike one, right? He lands, he's texting me, he's excited, and then it goes silent, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. He looked like the type of guy you call when the debt collector fucks up, right? Like he comes, he's wearing his tight black fit, black baseball cap, and to match, a black eye. And so TSA takes him away. I know what you guys are thinking, like TSA, like, excuse me, sir, can you grab your bag and follow me? No, like we're in the Middle East now, right? TSA, ski masks, armed, military garb, right? He's like, do all the guards wear ski masks? I'm like, no, you're going with the special people. So TSA takes him into a room, and they take the bag out, pull out the microphone, and they're like, what's this? Charles is like, it's a microphone, sing, right? And like a natural follow-up question, the guard was like, do you sing? For reference, this guy asks, like, what's that song that has 2 oh yeahs in it? I don't know, the 500,000 songs in the world? Like, we need Shazam 3.5 for this man, right? We blast house music in the Mustang. It's just one beat, right? But with all his New Jersey might, he looks back at this guy and he's like, yeah, I sing. Get out of here. Like, what were you gonna do if they asked you to sing, right? Oh yeah, oh yeah. But he must have gained some confidence because he walks out to baggage claim, sees my dad first, dabs him up and says to the man he's never met before, "Doc, how you doing?" And I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna be allowed to bring a man home again. Never. But my dad sizes him up, looks him up and down. He's like, "Charles, my son." It's like, what is this mafia shit? Like, what? Turns out, Dad decides he likes Charles because he looks like the type of guy that wouldn't bother him at the ER until he was on his last breath. So I guess we're family now, you know? Thank you so much, guys. You're awesome.